Hello everyone, so I'm here today to film a really quick update for my Project Pan That palette for 2016. If you haven't been keeping up, I am panning every single shade in the Balms Eye palette, not finishing, just hitting pan because I've never done this project before, so I decided to make it easy for myself. In addition to the Balms Eye palette, I'm also using different eyeshadows or different palettes every month, cycling through the rest of my collection and using it with my Pan That palette. So let me just show you what I've been doing for the months of March and April. I'll start with the most exciting bit. This is the Balms Eye palette. In my first update, which was at the end of February, I had only hit pan in one shade, and it was the shade Dreamboat. And I'm very happy to say that I have hit pan in plenty more shades. So that was the shade that I had pan on. I actually don't think I've used it since I hit pan on it in February, so that one's all good. I then also hit pan in Epic, in Wipeout, in Woody, Dig It, Score, and Righteous. If you watched my first update, I was talking about how I was really nervous that I hadn't made as much progress as I had expected, and I was going to have to start multitasking products. So that's what I did here on the bottom. Dig It, I started using as an eyebrow shade and then hit pan in it, and then I changed over to Score and started using that as an eyebrow shade and then hit pan in that one as well. I started using Righteous as a liner and then hit pan in it. This actually took a really long time to hit pan in, probably because it's a really crumbly shade, so applying it on the eye I didn't get much color. It's a bit sheer. And then I started using Woody as a liner shade, and I hit pan in that pretty quickly because up until then I had been using it as my outer corner color, so I'd already had quite a big dip in that. Now that I've hit pan in these two shades, I'm using Stoked and Ripper as my liner shades. I'm absolutely hating Stoked. It is a very, very crumbly, almost no pigment whatsoever glitter shade, and I'm not loving it. Wipeout I was using as a brow highlight, and then I hit pan in it. Now I haven't really used it all that much. I might start using it to set my base, but not really sure yet. And then Epic I was using as a crease shade, and I've hit pan in that. As you can see, I've pretty much just left a lot of colorful shades to finish in this next 7 months. So I've still got High Tide, Hang Ten, Sandbar, Tubular, Surf's Up, Big Kahuna, Cowabunga, Safari, Pipeline, Stoked, and Ripper to hit pan in. A lot of those shades are colorful, but things like Surf's Up, Cowabunga, and Sandbar I think are kind of almost neutral-like colors, and I think they should be pretty easy to use up. But anyway, I will include some photos at the end of this video to let you see the progress across the months, but that's my palette at this point. Then I have the two palettes that I decided to use in conjunction with the Balms Eye palette in April. So the first one is this miniature from Smashbox. This is the Photo Op Eyeshadow Trio in Multi Flash, and it's got 3 little shades in there. I think the only shade I used over the month was this shade, which is Naked. I only used that a handful of times. I pretty much didn't reach for this at all, which is a bit disappointing, but that's okay. It meant I focused on my actual palette a lot more. And I also picked out another little palette, and this is from Maybelline. This is the Big Eyes by Eye Studio Quad in the shade Luminous Browns. As you can see, it's got 4 shades in there. And again, I only used one shade, and that was the shade in the middle, and I used that as an inner corner highlight quite a few times, most of the times throughout the month. So I've got a little bit of a dip in there, but this pan is huge. The size of the pans in this little quad are massive. So on to the palettes or shadows I'm going to be using in conjunction with my Balms Eye palette in the month of May. The first one is a product I've pulled from my Project Pan Roulette. That is the Revlon Photo Ready Primer Plus Shadow Quint in watercolors, and that's this one. You may have seen this before on my channel. I did use it for Project Pan last year, but for my Project Pan Roulette, I'm trying to finish up this big purple shade here. I have made a bit of progress in it, but I'm going to be using that in the month of May and however long after that before I finish it up. Then I have pulled a shadow from MAC. This is one of their foiled shadows in the shade Fly by Twilight. This came out in the Fairies collection they did at the beginning of this year, and I haven't really gotten a chance to wear it all that much, so I have pulled it out for this month. I've actually pulled out a lot of silvers. I'm really feeling taupey silvers right now. The other two I did actually repeat in February. So these are shadows that I pulled out to use with my palette in February, but I didn't use them all that much, if at all. The first is the NARS Dual Intensity Shadow in the shade Dion, which I like to call an antiqued silver. I really like this shade, but I haven't gotten to use it all that much, even though I pulled it out in February. And the other one is the one I'm actually wearing on my lids today, and this is a limited edition from NARS from the Stephen Klein collection. It's the eyeshadow single in Stud. It's a very, very glittery, silvery taupe, and I absolutely love it. So I'm really excited to use these shades, especially as my palette kind of runs out of just all of the lid shades. I can start using these much easier with my other shadows from the palette. So there you go, that's the progress I've made on my Pan That palette in the last 2 months, and the shadows that I'm going to be using in the next month. I will be updating again at the end of June, so stick around for that. If you're doing Pan That palette, please let me know down below so I can come and watch and support you. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.